Hey beautiful souls! Today I'm going to share with you some of the life lessons I've learned as a single woman in my 30s because I believe that some of you could relate and find value in the information I'm about to share. Many of us are taught that we need to prioritize others before ourselves. But the thing is that there is so much power in choosing yourself, darling. You are allowed to take up space, to pursue your passions, and to build the life that you want. Your single phase isn't about waiting for someone to come along. It is about figuring out what makes you come alive. What you want is not less important than what everybody else wants, darling. It took me a while to realize that taking care of my own wants and needs is not selfish. It is a necessity if I want to protect my peace and myself. I remember there was a time when I was really holding myself back, waiting for the real life to happen, once I had a partner to share it with. But when I let go of that mindset, that really changed everything for me. I started traveling. I started doing things which I wanted to do, even when there was nobody who shared my interests. I started this YouTube channel, something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I was not allowing myself to do. I finally started building a life that made sense for me, not for others. And I became my own biggest cheerleader. And now, if somebody comes into my life, they'll meet somebody who is whole and fulfilled on their own. You don't need anybody else to complete you, darling, because you're already whole. And I'm whole. And if somebody comes into my life, they need to add value and make my life better because I already have it good on my own. And if somebody comes along but wants to ruin what I have already built, they have no place in my life. I don't need toxicity in my life. I had my portion. I'm in a new phase now. And I'm much more cautious who I let in my life and in my relationships. And that makes me stronger than I have ever been before. When I was in my 20s, I have put too much focus on finding the one that I didn't really appreciate my friendships and how valuable they were to me. I've had some relationships and I was hoping that they would develop into something more serious, into something real. But the thing is that they didn't work out. And I'm so grateful that I had some great friends by my side then because they stood by my side even when nobody was there. They helped me to see things clearly, to see things for what they were, not for what I wanted them to be. I stayed in some of my relationships longer than I should, even when they were unhealthy, even when they were hurting me, because I wanted to settle down like everybody else. And I wanted to start a family and all of these things. But the thing is that I was not feeling myself. I was not happy in these relationships. And I'm so glad that I ended them. I ended them because they would have negatively impacted my life. And I'm so grateful for my friends that called me out in these moments, in the moments when I was repeating the same mistakes over and over again, in the moments when I was choosing the wrong type of guys for my partners, the moments when I kept going back to people who were betraying me, to people who are manipulating me. The thing is that oftentimes we get blinded by our feelings and we are not able to see things as they are, but we see them as what we wish them to be. Value your friendships, sweetheart. Invest in your friendships because they are not less valuable than a romantic relationship. True friendships can give you so much. They bring so much joy and meaning to my life right now. And I make sure to take care of my friends as much as they do. There is this misconception that if you're single, you're in a holding pattern, waiting for your real life to begin. I've realized that being single is an incredible chapter on its own. It is not just a break before the next relationship. It is a great opportunity to design a life that you want, to start doing the things that you want, the things that make you come alive. What you want is not less important than what everybody else wants, darling. It took me a while to comprehend this idea. But now I really do things that make sense to me, even if they're not making sense to anybody else. Because that's my life, and I'm here for every minute of it. I have really embraced the freedom to try new things. Once I've signed up to a dance class, and it was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. I went alone. I allowed myself to start doing things that I'm into, even when there is nobody else that is interested in these activities. This brings me so much joy and so much happiness. And I don't have to limit myself just because I don't have a partner right now. It does not mean that I won't have a partner tomorrow. And if you're in the same boat like me, don't punish yourself. Don't beat yourself up just because you're single right now. I know that it may hurt sometimes. I know that you may feel low sometimes or lonely, especially if most of your friends have already settled down and have families and kids. Most likely, this will happen to you just a little bit later in life, darling. Or maybe that is not something you want for yourself, and that's completely okay. Everyone's path is different, is unique, and we need to stop comparing ourselves with other people and their journeys. Your 30s are a powerful time, darling. You know yourself better. You had your experiences, and that made you wiser. And now you can make better choices. You can take better decisions. Now, everything that I do is aligned with my values, is aligned with the life I want to build for myself. And this is so freeing. Personally, I started diving into my passions. I've started working on projects I wanted to do for a while but didn't have the courage to do. Like this YouTube channel, for example. It makes me really happy that I'm able to share my thoughts and experiences with you, hoping that I may help you, even just a little bit, to navigate your own journey and to make yourself happier. This is something every woman in her 30s needs to hear. You don't need to entertain people or situations which don't serve you, darling. This is a boundary game changer for me. In my 20s, I used to feel bad saying no. I used to feel like I had to give people a chance, especially when I felt pressured by family or friends to meet certain guys or to go on certain dates. I felt like I had to be that good girl, doing what people expected her to do, even when she didn't feel like it. But now I know that if I don't click with somebody, if we have completely different values and understandings about life, there's no point in me investing time and energy going on dates with people that are completely different than who I am, who want completely different things than what I want. I don't do that anymore. And this saves me so much trouble. This saves me so much time. There was a time when I met somebody who was perfect on paper, but somehow deep down I knew that they were not right for me. And I said no. I listened to my intuition, and I'm so glad I did. That's one of the best decisions I've ever made. That same person got married a couple of years later, only to leave his wife for another woman while he was pregnant. And at that moment, I knew that I was protected. In that moment, I knew that I did the right thing for me. Because to me, a man doing that to his wife is brutal. And nobody deserves to experience these type of things. That's why it's better to follow our intuition. If something doesn't feel right, if someone does not feel right for us, most likely they are not, darling. So don't force yourself to be in a relationship just because others tell you you have to. If the person you're dating or the person you're in a relationship makes you feel unhappy or abuses you in any kind of way, most likely you're right. Most likely your intuition is protecting you. And if it's telling you that you need to leave, leave. There's nothing wrong in being single if this makes you happier for the time being, darling. Embrace this phase of being single and make the most of it. Thank you for watching and spending some time with me today. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and that it brought you some sort of value. If these lessons resonated with you, or if you have your own lesson, please share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.